Hi, this is Arnon.
Lefty.
Adam.
And Dan from Elephants of Scotland.
Et vous écoutez Prog Live avec Danny et Pierre sur Rock 925, le meilleur de rock progressif.
And you're listening to
Prog Live with Danny and Pierre on Rock 925, the best of progressive rock.
Yo, Pierre. Thanks, dude. I'm fucking psyched. Oh, my dog's eating dog shit. Hold on.
30 minutes. All right, so we're on. So today, Saturday, April 25th, 2015, we're in Montreal, Canada. This is Prog Live with Denis Champagne, Pierre Lemoine. It's the Marillion weekend here, and we have special guests. We have a band from Vermont, the Elephants of Scotland, a band that we did a show on about 6 months ago or so, and that are going to be, it's their first gig up here in Canada, in Quebec, and they're going to be in Quebec City in a couple of weeks, so congratulations, guys. Hope you guys had a great time today. It was a great show, and we're with the musicians. The band members are Adam Raymond. Adam, welcome to Montreal.
Good to be here.
Arnon. McLean, sorry, I was going to say, is McLean or McLean?
Well, it's okay.
Okay, I was kind of mixed up there. So McLean, we got John White, lefty, correct?
Yep, that's
all right. And of course, Dan McDonald. So welcome, gentlemen, to Prog Live.
Thank you.
To Montreal. Cheers. Cheers, you guys. Cheers. Job well done.
Yeah, great time. Oh my God.
And now we're going to spend about an hour with these gentlemen speaking, question and answer session. We're going to have some music, and we're going to have a great show for everybody, so hopefully everybody enjoys it. I'm sure we will. Let's get off at the show there, Dirk.
All right. So I'm going to start off with Adam.
Uh-oh.
Adam, you're the vocalist and the keyboardist of the band, right?
Yeah, I'm one of the vocalists, but the only keyboard player.
Right.
One's enough.
All right, that's cool. And this was your idea, the band? Did you form the band?
I started the band, I guess it was like 2009, 2010. I had been playing with these two guys in an 80s cover band. They're still playing in the band,
Oh,
in
really?
the 80s cover band. But I decided I wanted to do the 80s thing still, but I also wanted to get into some of the progressive rock stuff that I grew up on, start writing it and start doing it. And I knew these guys, whenever we were learning one of the new 80s tunes, Safety Dance or some Madonna or something, we'd always break into a Rush song every now and then. And I realized, cleanse the palate with a little bit of, Rush, just during practice, not in shows. And so we figured, maybe I got something there. So I started up the band. I had another guitar player that I knew that Ornan used to play with, and he and I started. And then about a year and a half later, the guitar player left, and Lefty came right on board. I knew he was itching to do the same kind of thing also. And then basically just like a week or so later, Dan put an ad on Craigslist.
Wow.
Just saying that he's a bass player looking to do some...
Yeah, but you put him playing to Rush, didn't he?
Yeah.
He said, well, one of the bands, he said, you like this, Rush, and a couple other bands that we like.
We thought you fit in.
I said, well, this will work. So I called him up, and we talked once or twice, and I was like, seems to be in the right frame of mind. And then basically...
Chemistry was there,
Chemistry
obviously.
was there very instantly. In fact, the audition piece was, we did Subdivisions, and we threw that at him right away. And we even made you sing.
That's right.
Right?
I noticed.
Yeah. So then from there it was, rest is history. Though we are going to talk about that history, but yes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where it all began.
Definitely.
So, were you guys childhood friends, or how did you meet? I mean,
Other than Craigslist,
Yeah, right.
obviously.
Yeah, well, we met him through Craigslist. I grew up near Philadelphia, but I moved to Vermont 15, 16 years ago. And the guy that I was in a band with put this other fella, Jeff, put the 80s band together. And he brought in Ornan. How did you know Ornan? I mean, how did you know Jeff?
Yeah.
How did you know Jeff?
Well, apparently he knew me because I ran a rehearsal studio for a while, but I didn't remember him. So I just answered that in a paper. And he's like, you don't have to audition. You got the job. But I auditioned anyways. I lost a bunch of people coming to audition after me. I was like, I definitely got the job. It took a couple of years to really get that band off the ground. And 7 years later, pretty successful. But we had a really hard time finding a keyboard player. And I think we played a show where your ex-wife
Okay, can you talk about that?
and she was like, yeah, you should join this band. You're moving back. And
Yeah, I was out
Adam
of
came
town.
back and joined the 80s band, and were you in it? I was Mike at that point.
Yeah, he left and then he came and got me.
Yeah, so when Mike left, we were like, pretty much every time somebody leaves the band, we go to Lefty. Whatever band that might be. And there's been a lot of bands. Like, Lefty, can you fill in? Like, sure. Lefty, can you fill in? Sure. Lefty, can you fill in? So
Sure.
That's
But now Lefty's here to stay.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's here to stay.
Good.
So he's my guitar player in both the 80s band and Elephants. So every time I show up for rehearsal, he says, you again.
Yeah.
You guys
They see a
all,
lot of each other.
you guys all pretty much have a musical background, like kids and stuff like that, like families. Like you guys have music in your family when you were growing up, or?
My family, not really.
My mother played piano.
And,
My brother plays guitar, and I picked up keyboard, early on.
Because sometimes that's that's the way you get into it. I mean, parents,
Yeah.
family. But if you're the only one that's into music, it's pretty tough to continue and
Well, my
stay
mom-
motivated.
Yeah, my mom decided she wanted to learn guitar, so she threw me one. I was like
Okay.
13, and that kind of took off from there. And his brother's in a killer Rush cover band called Blame Canada.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Blame
Blame
Canada.
Canada. Nice. Yeah, I like
They play
that.
down in the DC area.
Really?
Yeah, they do a Rush tribute. They're really good.
Really.
And you guys formed the band within a year, right? Only a year? That's fine.
It's hard to say. We had the original guitar player for about a year and a half.
there's a lot of growing pains.
Yeah, a lot of time figuring out what it is we wanted to be.
I mean, there was so many opportunities for it to fall apart. It fell apart and it fell apart and it fell apart. And at every step, at the last minute, Lefty stepped in and Dan stepped in, and it was like the chemistry that we were looking for.
These four guys. Yeah, it was like within a week. Basically the other guitarist left.
It's just a mess.
And then, Lefty came on a few days later, and then Dan came in a week later, and we went from having no band. Orrin and I went from having like no real band to having like the lineup, and we knew it as soon as the four of us played together. Like,
Just kind of like at the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
It's just like,
absolutely.
boom.
It was seriously, it was just that. It was everything, the stars were aligned.
There's so many opportunities for it to fail, and the only reason that it's continued is because
Passion.
of stick-to-itiveness and a little and chemistry and luck that we met each other.
Lots of luck for sure.
But we're not out there like being popular and playing music. We're just like we love what we do. So
Yeah, we only rehearse once a week. That's all we got.
and then we do our homework, and then we get together, and then we get a call from somebody who wants to come and play in Montreal, and we're like, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it for sure.
And then we rehearse twice a week before a show.
before a show, you do twice.
Because
Oh, you
Dan
saw that
forces
today.
us.
We noticed.
Yes,
We noticed.
Yeah, and he forces us
Did we?
to play twice a week. Dan's like, once a week's not enough.
I'd like to play every day, but we're all working stiff, so we know how that goes.
Indeed. Not easy.
Yeah, it's
So are we ready for a quick song, or do you have something else you wanted to say? Or?
One last question
Okay, sure.
before we go on to
Okay.
Home Away from Home came out in January of 2013. And because of that record, the reviews or whatever, you guys were invited to the Ross Fest in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that was.
Can you talk a bit about that?
It was Marty Dorfman and Rick Henry.
it was all Dan. We didn't know he was our. We didn't know he was our marketing.
Prog Doctor.
Prog Doctor. Jesus, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah. We know he is.
Yeah.
It's all right.
He follows us
Good guy. Good
on
guy.
our podcast.
He and Rick had, I don't know how, I think Marty or Rick found us on the internet somehow.
Yeah.
they said, hey, check these guys out. And it just kind of snowballed from there. They got a hold of us through Facebook. Facebook is a huge
Indeed.
Yes, it is.
networking I've found for music and bands and getting to try to book gigs and stuff. And he got a hold of us and said, hey, we like your stuff. So he featured us on his show a few times, and we did an interview, I think, right? Yeah. With him. And that's how, I think that's how we got rolling, was with them guys. And then he knows George Roldan. He said, hey, check out these guys. And that summer before 2013 summer, I got a call and said, hey, George called me up and said, Marty and Rick really are into you guys. I heard you guys. I think you guys are great. You know, paraphrasing.
Cool.
Would you like to play Rothfest? I'm like,
let me see.
No,
let me ask the guys.
No, yeah. You know, I was camping too. I remember that. Yeah. So this basically how it happened, and at that point we had to scramble because we didn't have enough music for a 90-minute set.
Oh.
Yeah, so this was probably August when he got a hold of me, so we had to do that whole album writing.
Yeah, finish writing in about 5
Yeah, but
months.
backing up for a second, it's important to point out that when he's first started talking about Rossfest, we're like, what the hell's Rossfest? I'm like, oh, rock, whatever. We're like, yeah, maybe in a couple of years we'll get it. Maybe we might get invited. I was like, we're looking long term. And then it was like, boom. He was like, we're invited next year. We're like,
Wow.
Never underestimate yourself.
So then the writing, you guys had to crave to write everything.
We had about half of the second album written, and then we just had to write the rest of it.
Oh, goodness.
And really put it together.
Right. But with that pressure there, it's got to be done.
Yeah, it had to be done.
You're there, you're going to be
We
there.
wanted to give people about a month for sure to listen to it before we played it all
that
out.
year, that was the hardest work probably any of us have ever done.
Wow.
Yeah. that
And
was killer.
plus you're under the gun of like,
Correct, yeah.
is it going to be any good?
Yeah, are they going to like it or are they not going to like it? For sure, yeah.
Are we going to like it?
Yeah, are you going to like it?
doing?
Yeah, that's another thing too, for sure.
Lefty had a song in the works, we
Yeah.
worked that in to Forget About You, and we worked on that. And
You said the elephantizer.
So you all contributed basically. I mean, it's got to be that way.
Yeah. Had to throw
the
everything
song
in.
was brought in by Adam, like I said, John, what is Adam's the main songwriter. And he brings in a song, and he has basic parts written out, and some parts stay as he's written. But Adam's real free. He's like, hey man, you guys go ahead and do
Fix
what
it
you
up,
do.
yeah.
So, and it all gels really well.
Fantastic.
It's good stuff.
Good.
This is really teamwork. Really.
Yeah. Well, talking about songs, I think it's time now that we listen to one. You guys decide which song you want us to listen to. You choose, and maybe if you have maybe a little story or anecdote about the song, that would be cool. You want to share that with the listeners?
We start with the first album, the title track, Home Away From Home. It was one of the few songs that we videotaped ourselves playing as we recorded in the studio. So like the music video that you guys can watch is us actually performing it on the album.
In the garage.
In the garage, in the rehearsal.
That'd be great.
Elephant Cave.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be great.
Home Away From Home.
Okay, so we will be right after that. Listen to this great song.
We'll be right back.
We'll be back.
Crushed rocks over soil, metal alloys combusting oil, life draped in pressed vegetation and circles in perpetual migration. Crushed rocks piled up mass, metal alloys illuminate gas, scattered designs I cannot tell what it means. This my kind know not of this way, but I will learn if I choose to stay. In this home away from home, with the strangest sounds. My kind know not of this way. I will learn if I choose to stay.
Hope you guys enjoyed this great song. Adam?
That was Home Away from Home.
Excellent job, you guys.
Thank you.
Denny?
Okay, so if I can, excuse my French. With a year to prepare for Rockfest, you guys also were working on new material, and you decided to build your own home studio. Why? Because it is a good idea.
I should answer that question.
Yeah, you should answer that question.
Because there was no way in hell I was going to be put under the pressure of going into a recording studio where the clock was ticking and the money was going tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. And I had to get my drums down perfectly. And like what, 2 days?
Yeah.
And these guys could take the tapes home and spend 6 months getting it right. So I was like, why don't we just spend the same money we would in the studio on microphones and build our own studio? That way we can take our time. And it worked out to be so smart. That's why that executed breeze sounds so good, because we were able to get the drum sounding perfect. We were able to spend time. We pretty much wrote most of the songs as we recorded them.
A lot of the drum parts.
And we came up with, so after we were done, I had to learn what we wrote. So it was a process. It was pretty much a writing and creating process as we recorded. And if I'd been under the pressure to do that in the studio, it would have been just
because from Home Away from Home, we kind of were a little bit.
Think about the songs. Think about the parts that we put together while we were there in the process. We would listen back to it and we'd go, no, that doesn't work. Let's try something else. We had the weeks.
And you have more control. I mean, you can do what you want to do. Exactly.
Between Adam and Lefty, with their expertise in the technical guru-ness that Owen and I don't possess, it worked out really well. I mean, we had wires running everywhere, but you know what? It's still do. And it's great to have these two guys know what they know and be able to do what they do. Adam takes care of all the mixing.
Right, I think that's an important thing to Adam produced both of these albums.
Yes.
All the mixing, everything. Adam, that was all Adam.
If you think in terms of like the music we're compared to, like 70s, early 80s prog, when these bands actually had record deals and they could go into a studio and write their music and record it and experiment and have these budgets where they could do it, like Rush would do. And then he'd go into Rockfield Studios in Wales, having hemispheres written. They wrote hemispheres in the studio. That's basically kind of sort of what we were able to do. And that's what, since there's no budget, we can't afford to dick around in a studio, recording studio with time going tick, tick, tick. So I don't think we'll ever go into a real studio again.
And the great thing is we already own all the drum microphones. For the third album, we're ready to go.
That's right.
We don't even need to buy microphones.
Let's do it ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, there's always stuff to buy.
Maybe you bring in a really famous producer or something.
Yeah, like Adam Davis.
Well, I was going to say before, I mean, it's great that the four of us are in the band because we all complement each other well. I mean, I'll take care of the production and the recording. Lefty's takes care of like the live sound and a lot of the gear that we have. Warren's got to play the drums, so he gets a pass. He's doing all the physical manual labor. And he's pounding the pavement, getting us gigs. So it's a real good compliment. The four of us kind of need to be these four people, these four talents to make it possible. So we're very lucky.
Yeah, it worked out great.
And we like each other.
And we like each other, usually.
That helps.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
We don't like Lefty very much, but we
put up with him.
Yeah, I'm the bitch of the band.
We've got that on recording. Keep that in mind.
We're just kidding. We're kidding. We're just kidding.
For a bunch of guys in our 40s to be able to just get along and be able to like find a model for the band that works,
to do something creative together, where it
really
comes together. It's like
I mean, it's one thing when you're in your 20s, you can just you have all the energy in the world, everything's wide open. But once you as you go on, you're starting to like figure out exactly what you want, and we get grumpier.
Adam did his own thing for years.
Yeah, I did my own thing.
You guys have to become friends. Grumpier, right?
But we're not at the same level as you guys. But we do our little thing, and we can relate. I mean, for sure. For sure, that's the way it is. But that's what makes it fun too. Because once you succeed and once you achieve something, it makes it all worthwhile too. And you do it with somebody that you enjoy being with and you enjoy working with.
Well, there's two thoughts to that. One is that you can go so much further with a combination of talent, like somebody else bouncing off you.
Yeah.
And you can. I forgot my second thought.
It was so serious. Well, you hit a wall. If it's just talent, you're going to hit a wall at a certain point.
Yeah. Well, to speak to that, I used to do. I mean, before I put the band together, I was just doing my own thing, just like one man.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And I
hit a wall.
I hit a wall. It's like I've kind of gone as far as I can with doing my own thing. I need to get 3 other, get some more people in here to bounce ideas off.
Bouncing ideas.
Yeah, so I don't need to think about every single part and everything, single song. I can say, I trust the bass player to just come up with a bass line for it.
See, and that's what I said before. It's so cool about Adam. I mean, there are people who are in bands who are songwriters, and they bring in, this is the way it's got to be.
All in on
That's not it.
Yeah, that's never been.
We all bounce stuff off each other. We try it, no, it sounds like shit. No, it sounds good, do this, It's all good.
Everybody has good ideas. Everybody's ideas are respected.
Everyone adds and subtract.
Everybody's ideas are tried. And we try it once, nope, it doesn't work. Okay, what was your idea? No, that works.
Don't try to force it.
I would say this is the first band I've ever been in that, not being a songwriter or not being looked down on as a drummer, where my opinions, arrangement-wise, are totally respected. And a lot of our songs have been built. A lot of the changes, a lot of the developments in our song have been my ideas.
Yes, they suggest definitely. Hell yeah.
It's like, how many times should we do this? Should we repeat that? Should we bring this part back and reprise it at the end?
Yeah.
And it's like Adam comes with all these incredible ideas, and there's like you got too many ideas.
And they keep coming.
And it changes it every other day.
We learned the song, perfect, and he's like, nope, I want to rewrite the whole song.
That last week. Now we got to relearn a new thing because that was
Everybody should listen to their drummer. The drummer
is that the word of the day? Is that okay?
Well, the drummer isn't encumbered with all like the notes and the chords and all the math behind it.
He just bangs things.
He's just banging on stuff. And when it comes to the feel of a song, you're not going to get a better sense of the feel of a song than from the drummer's perspective. And I know this because I'm a drummer. I'm a failed drummer. I'm an okay drummer, so I kind of know
multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah, I know enough to know how to talk to Ornan, and I know what he's capable of. But you're not going to hear me playing drums on the album. But that's for everyone's benefit.
Where he's coming from.
I don't know about song structure to be able to say, why don't we put this part over here? And they're like, oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
And that's all it takes.
It doesn't always work, but sometimes. But my point is that everybody's ideas are respected. And I've been in bands where I make a point, I make a comment, they'll look at me like, and then they'll just go back and guitar players will talk amongst themselves. It's like, am I invisible? So this is
Not
the
the
most,
elephants, buddy.
what's the word, equanimity? This is the best. It's one of the best.
Four pieces of a pie.
Yeah, it's one of the best projects I've been involved with.
Well, I think another important thing is too is that we've all of us have been in bands before. We're past that, that early band thing where everybody's a prima donna. Nobody, I've been in tons of bands where there's lead guitar players, there's lead singers, there's drummers, and all that's gone. And that was a really nice thing about the other '80s bands that we were in. All of us were the same way. We appreciated. There was no prima donna BS. So that's never ever been something.
We're grown ups.
And I was just going to say, because you just mentioned 40-year-olds and blah, 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 and that's what everybody comes down to. You're right. Growing up, maturing, and it's about the music, it's about your passion, more than being that rock star kind of thing.
Because we're not going to be rock stars, we're not trying to make it. We're just lucky to have a creative outlet.
Yeah.
And if it goes somewhere, fucking great. We're gonna run with it.
This gig today at the Brutopia.
Excuse the French.
Awesome. It was.
Just
fantastic.
Oh, I can't tell you, we haven't felt this good ever. Except for
Really?
Ozfest. Yeah, man, seriously. Our gigs up in Vermont, it's just a different
venue.
But the people just awesome. We felt so good today.
People pay attention. They're there.
So good.
I was talking to some of the guys, at the bar after the gig. One of the guys, I thought it was a guy from Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, rock fans, it's not to be, he said, Prog fans tend to have degrees, which is a pompous way of saying Prog fans tend to have, they don't know about that. Acquire more than a Metallica song. Now we brought that up. We said, well, we both still love Metallica, but at the end of the day, I want to listen to that on my snowmobile. But whatever. But I want
You got a snowmobile?
No, but I want to listen to Rush or Yes or whatever. But I want to think and feel. And he also said to me, when you go to the Marillion show tonight, men are going to be crying. They're going to be crying because of their own personal connection to the music.
Wow.
Wow. I think that's what. No.
Maybe with fish.
You're right.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
That's a huge fan.
Yeah. I know. Well, yeah, that's another story altogether.
He's a huge fish fan.
Yeah.
I'm more the fish camp than the H camp.
But I respect the other camp.
Yeah. But that's
I see it.
that's for another show. That's for another show. Right now it's EOS we're talking about, and we're almost at another song. So if there's anything in particular you want to ask, or
after the appearance at Rossfest in 2014, you self-produced an album which was called Execute in April of 2014. So you
Released it right before Rossfest.
Yeah, that was the album that we worked on leading up to Rossfest.
like you were forced to let's get it right now, let's get it done.
Yeah, it was a little high pressure situation.
Definitely more pressure than I would have liked. And
Because
definitely more
of the
than
Rossfest?
yeah,
Yeah,
we needed
You needed the music.
There was a time, there was a
Right.
deadline. I've never had an album with a deadline before. I've always, we've always just kind of recorded and wrote as we wanted.
Right.
So it was a good thing though?
It made it get done. It got it done.
It was an amazing thing.
Yeah,
What is
it
Because
elevated
now,
you.
now, you,
No, you're fucking
all of us,
These two guys.
now,
Man, you guys are unbelievable.
from where we were the first album to where we were at the end of Execute and Breathe, it was like two different bands. And where we were after Rossfest, which is a year ago almost now, to where we are now is like a third band.
Yep.
Like Execute and Breathe is easy peasy. Now he's writing songs in 11.
Yeah, I know. Orphans and Ghosts.
we're trying to make that sound easy.
Yeah.
We played them tonight. And, we're
Nailed it.
it just elevated. That's what Rush talks about. You know, they're like, we got better as we wrote and toured and played. We're not touring, but we're writing and playing. We're in our basement. We're 10 times the band that we were when we first got together.
Yeah, now
We're 10 times the musicians that we were.
Yeah, that's kind of the key to the home studio too.
Yeah, totally.
I can just imagine you guys together.
Yeah, lots of fun. So, gents,
Yes.
ladies,
Time for another song?
it is time for another song. So, you guys let us know what you want us to share with.
Speaking of Execute and Breathe, we can play Endless Part 2.
Okay.
That's, well, you'll see the video. We'll talk about it after, because that was
Okay.
really cool.
Perfect.
Okay.
But, yeah, someone made a video for Endless Part 2.
Okay. So we're gonna do the song right now, and then we'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
We will be back after Endless Part 2, and listen. Here we go.
Don't know why it seems all so hard for me. It's just a matter of looking and writing down all I see. Always trying to talk about the things we find, but words can't do it justice, and you cannot read my mind. Something like a lighthouse that shines onto the rocks. It blooms into a flower, grows wings and joins the flocks. From the endless blackbird who wanders and returns to the pile of sea craft, falling petals teach and learn. They learn. That lie upon the road, they have all been carbon dated to a long time ago. Back to the days when people used to walk, way before our bodies had crumbled into chalk. wish I'd seen, filmed and screened upon you. A new life inside my dream. The diamond wheel reminds me that souls grind down so bright, and each fading spark is learning how to fly.
Then, Adam, you're going to tell us about the video, correct?
Yep.
All right. So we ready to go? Are we on now? Oh, I didn't know. Okay, so we're on now. This is good. It's all good. It's live. And so we just listened to Endless Part 2. Endless Part 2. That's just an inside joke.
Yeah.
And Adam's going to tell us about the video for Endless Part 2.
Endless Part 2.
Part 2. C'est ça.
Very good.
Très bon.
That's the other word in French I know. That video was a complete surprise for us. I just looked in my email one morning, or I forget, someone like posted it to our Facebook page. The guy, and he had made that video of him drawing, this time lapse of him making this really fancy drawing that illustrated the song. And I was just blown away, and we immediately, shared it with everybody and told everyone about it. But it was this guy in Greece named Tassos who just made it himself. Completely, I didn't ask him, we didn't ask him, he didn't tell us he was doing it.
We didn't know anybody in Greece was listening to our music.
We didn't know anybody in Greece. And this video was just showed up. So there it is. That was such a compliment. It's still flattering.
So do you have that video, share it? And
it's on our homepage.
It's on your homepage, and
it's on YouTube. Anyone can watch.
Oh, you have it on YouTube too. You put it on YouTube.
It's great because he saved us the trouble of having to put our own video on.
Right.
Great artist.
Yeah,
it was really cool. I mean, we just sent it to we just put it up there. I mean, how cool is that?
Wow.
What do you got?
I don't know. What's up, Lefty?
Hey, this guy cracks me up.
All right, Dirk, anything spectacular going on?
Oh, probably a nice question for Dan.
Okay.
So Dan, you were in the music scene throughout the late 80s and the early 90s. And what kind of music were you playing?
I was in in the 80s it was a cover band. We did a lot of prog stuff. A band called Athenian. And we did Rush, we did Genesis, we did, Bill Squire, stuff of, the 80s.
Must be some Kansas in there.
We did Kansas, I don't think we did Kansas. We had a couple originals. It was with Greg Athenian, Al Miller, Joe Delia, Randy Bates was our singer. It was a great bunch of guys, man, for that time. And they're still out pumping out stuff now. In the 90s, I moved to Mass, and I got into some bands in Boston, a couple original bands. Bill Bracken is still very heavily involved in Boston in some bands. He's got a cover band, or a tribute band. I can't remember what it is. Sorry, Bill. But he's out there playing. And another band that was called Mojaka. It was both original bands, and it was more poppy rock kind of thing, but it was original. And that's where I really started to really dig doing original music. Was back then. We played a bunch of clubs in Boston, and that's where I really got the taste for that.
Okay. The other question was, Why did you put down your bass for 12 years?
Yeah, that's I don't know. Freaking idiot.
Maybe.
My previous life. No, yeah. No, it was.
That's a tough one, eh?
Yeah.
It is.
I was previously married, and first time, and that individual I was married to, she didn't want anything to do with it.
Okay.
And
I know the feeling.
yeah, so I stupidly at 28 or 29 ago, I said, okay, honey, no problem. Anyway, long story short, I could not stand not playing my bass anymore, and I went away for my job. I have to go away every few years to retrain my partner, K9, and I was down at the school, and you're down there for 3 months. And I said, man, I can't sit in this hotel room and do nothing. So I went out to a pawn shop and bought a piece of shit Ibanez bass and a little practice amp. I started playing again. I picked it up periodically through that 12 years and just said, oh man, this sucks. I'm not anywhere where I was or anything. But anyway, picked it up again. I just kept playing, trying to go over playing old songs I used to play to all the time. And,
Came back.
You just got the taste for it, eh? Got the taste for that.
It's a part of me. It's a part of us.
Right.
You can't. It's like not having a fucking arm.
Yeah.
And when it's that such an important part, and you drop it for that long, you get lost, man.
And I don't want to get into details because we don't want to do that, but depends on the reason also. It's like, for that.
Don't ever
like
give up who you are, what
Correct.
you're into. We know as we get older, the things we need.
I mean, if you're ill or something like that, that's understandable. But it's like it's that or that, and no, you're right.
Don't compromise who you are, what you want to do, because if you meet somebody and they love you for who you are,
Correct.
Respect who you are, they're gonna let you do what you want to do. As long as you're not self-destructive or something stupid.
Correct.
And my wife Joanne supports what I do.
Actually, if they support what you do, then you know they love you.
Yes, there you go.
You got it
Exactly. Yes. Sorry about that. I did things backwards. That's why
being with the wrong person, things do look backwards.
Yes, and we get to believe we start driving backwards. We don't even fucking know it.
Right. And all we're doing is putting ourselves on hold.
Exactly. Don't ever do that for anything.
It doesn't work.
Well, that's what we're doing.
You're only here for a short time, man.
You're getting pretty deep here.
I like it.
Sorry.
All right. No, this is good. This is good.
So is that Dan, when you re-picked up the bass?
Canadian beers.
Is that when you joined the band?
No, I picked that in 2000. What was it? 2010. When I joined you guys in 2011.
Well, it was that quick. It was a year. So I did.
It might have been 2000. I was down at school in 2008, so that's when I picked it up again.
We want you to spill your guts. We want you to spill your guts tonight.
Get the whiskey. Nobody wants to know about No, and I started. What actually got me more into playing again was I started posting my own YouTube videos covering, some Rush songs and other songs.
You were also playing. You were playing internationally.
Oh yeah, Claudio. What's Claudio's last name?
Della something or other.
Claudio. He's a big prog guy down in South America, Argentina. And
he was like playing Rush songs with some guy in Poland, some guy in Argentina.
Yeah, he do those collaboration YouTube videos with people all over the world.
Or people I never met,
Yeah.
Right.
He found me on there, and we started hooking up that way. And that got me into playing again, relearning, get my ear trained again. It's just all part of that.
Now he doesn't want to play any cover
It comes back, but I still think.
Okay.
Now he's like, first we were like, we want to play some Rush music. Now he's like, no covers.
No. Just the original stuff.
Yeah. I can't help but think, where would I be now if I didn't stop for 12 years?
Oh, yeah.
But I do think that.
You can't regret, but you're right.
But, it doesn't matter, because now I'm here. And as far as the rhythm section, bass, drum thing goes, I'm always, let's go to the next level. I don't know what the next level is, but let's go there, man. Let's go. And I say that, I do.
Later.
Yeah, that's my story.
Yeah.
That's cool. You're right. You're where you're at now.
Really cool. Ornan, you're next.
Uh-oh.
no.
You're in deep shit. I'm just kidding.
No, he's not.
No, he's not even-
I'm not.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Later, yeah.
So, Ornan, you've been playing drums for the last 20 years in rock bands?
Yes.
And currently playing in Hot Neon Magic 80s covers and Dirty Blondes punk
Yeah.
and Elephants of Scotland, prog rock.
Pretty busy
And
guy.
your influences were prog rock in the 70s. My question is, okay, Ornan, you own 3 drum kits that are all different makes and models. Is it because you have one for 80s covers, one for punk, and one for prog?
Sort of. But I have a beautiful Gretsch drum set that I always lived in the basement. Or it used to be my primary kit. But for various reasons, it has become unused, but it's sitting in my basement. That's not true. I haven't played it very much recently. But then I have a little road kit that it's just a piece of junk. And I always thought that it was just a piece of junk. But amazingly, I've been playing that kit for 20 years.
Wow.
And the kick drum on it is from this piece of junk kit that I got when I was 14 years old. Well, I got a snare drum and a kick drum and a cymbal. I go. I broke the cymbal and I broke the kick pedal and I broke the snare head. And I was like, then I would like cobble things together to make a bigger drum set. And I gave up on all that and got a new drum set. And then that kick drum lived in my dad's apartment for 10 years. And then I rescued that kick, and I've been playing that kick for 20 years. And that's the primary kick, this little 20-inch kick drum that I use for Hot Neon Magic. And I was playing in a, how would you describe it? Sort of a white rap metal band in the 90s.
That's different.
Wow.
Kind of like, what's
Limp Bizkit?
Yeah, it was a Limp Bizkit type of thing.
Okay.
And we're on the verge of like, maybe, we always thought we might make it, because, and then we played CBGBs and all sorts of stuff. And I bought this fancy drum kit. That's the kit that I play with Elephants now. And now that I've become a good drummer, a good enough drummer, I have to weigh like what kit is appropriate for what band. And the little shit kit, which I call it, is good for the 80s band. And the big kit is good for Elephants. And my Gretsch kit in the basement isn't really good for any band right now. But I would never sell it in a million years. And my fantasy is that I would buy the perfect kit. That probably that could be used with multiple bands, or at least with this band. But I don't need to go out and spend $3,000 on a drum set when my kid's perfectly fine.
You don't have $3,000.
You're right.
Let's be clear.
When we get our record deal, then I'll take my advance and I'll go buy a fancy drum kit. But I want 2 kick drums, okay?
Not the double pedal.
But where we play, I could never have 2 kick drums. And you know what? As long as I can't afford a roadie, I'm never going to have 2 kick drums.
So
Now I got a last one.
You do? Okay.
So you're gonna like this one. Could you talk to us about that country band thing that didn't work out?
Yeah, actually,
I'm very curious about that. Country band?
It was. It's not entirely a joke because
You definitely did your research.
somewhere in between, would have been back in the early 2000s. I was playing with Peg Tassi, and I was sort of trying to find a way to play professionally. Nothing was happening. It was before Dysfunction, before the Limp Bizkit band. I have a friend of mine who lives up in Cabot, Vermont, who's the best guitar player you'll ever meet, a billion years. And he was always my guitar hero. He's a little older than me. He's like Eddie Van Halen and Stevie Ray Vaughan rolled into one. But you could never get him to like do anything. And finally, after 20 years, he was going to launch a country band. Well, he grew up playing country music. do it all. And I was like, well, what the hell? If I can get a country gig playing drums, I'll do it.
In Vermont, that's going to go over good.
And I went, yeah, it would go great.
Yeah.
I can get gigs.
Yeah, make some money.
I rehearsed like 5 times, and then they just never called me back.
Uh-oh.
And the singer disappeared, and it just evaporated. So the country thing just didn't work out.
But it was a nice try.
Thank God.
Nice try.
We got it.
All right, so we're ready now for the next song that we're going to listen to. And gentlemen, out of the 4, whomever, which song do you guys want to listen to?
We can play our country song.
Oh,
Full Power.
Yeah, beautiful song.
You know, it's not a country song, but yeah, Full Power is a good one. That was also from the first album when we videotaped ourselves. That was the other song that we videotaped ourselves playing every take.
Oh, okay.
And then I had the honor of piecing it all together.
All right. So coming up, and then we'll be back. Enjoy.
Full the flowing lazies stretched out on their form. Moon girl gazes up and starward, bets on falling marbles and a pot of love that sleeps inside, wakens briskly, full
missed a few spots.
We are back, and we just listened to Full Power from EOS, Elephants of Scotland, and we're going to continue with this Q&A with this great band.
Yes.
Let's go.
Better believe it. So, Adam, what is this long-time studio project at Mailbox about?
Mailbox.
Yes.
So before Elephants, because Elephants started in 2010. Yeah.
Right?
So you did your homework.
I did.
Before that, I
Before
was
Honey on Magic.
before Honey on Magic. Yeah. Since basically I started making music, I was doing it mostly just on my own. I haven't really, unlike these guys, I haven't really played in too many live bands.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Go ahead.
Jeff, who started Honey on Magic, when we finally got him to join our band, he was moving from Colorado to
Vermont.
Wow. It was like his first time really. Well, that's not true. You guys had.
We had it. Yeah,
we had tried to get Mailbox. You tried to get Mailbox out.
Yeah, for like 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, but you had no live experience.
No, I barely had any
like
live
it.
experience. I was more or less just like a studio, like a bedroom studio guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Write stuff and record it at home and just like make weird songs. I mean, some of it has like a prog lean to it, prog slant to it. Some of it's goofy. Some of it's poppy, catchy. Some of it's instrumental new age. I just basically did whatever I wanted because it was just me in a bedroom, experimenting.
So that's why it was called Studio Project.
No, it's absolutely a studio project.
Okay.
I met a guy that was in the '80s band that started the '80s band that we were all in, and he approached me. He heard it through a friend of a friend and said we should see if we could do this live. And we kind of did it live, but it was really obvious that it was meant to be just like a studio thing.
Okay.
It didn't totally translate to the live setting, but it was fun. It was a good learning experience. But then I went right back to recording in my bedroom, doing a lot of weird stuff. So that's basically what Mailbox is. It's like my solo project, if you will.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But can I interrupt again? Sure.
You just did.
And I
I
also
think this is really important. It's all what Elephants of Scotland is all of his practice. Mailbox. Mailbox is like his big gigantic rehearsal for.
I like that.
How do you know that Elephants of Scotland isn't my side project?
Oh.
Hey.
Because you're still here.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I got to the point with Mailbox where
What are you doing? I didn't drink those beers. I got to the point with Mailbox in like '09. I finished up an album in 2009.
Oh, really?
And I realized don't have a lot much more to say on my own. It's like I have a handful of songs.
Yay!
I have a handful of ideas.
He has nothing to say. He needs us. He needs us.
Acknowledge he needs it.
And I said, I need to, if I'm going to do any more, I need to make it into a band. I need to do it live, and that kind of gets us back to the beginning of the conversation. Why did it start? Because the solo Mailbox project kind of reached its conclusion. I still recorded something in 2012 that was like I made like a short album just to see if I could.
30 days, was it?
Yeah, it was a 30-day project. Well, actually, it was a 28-day project. No, it was a 29-day. It was a leap day. It was this like record an album in a month thing on the internet that I read about, and in February of 2012, from basically the first day of January to the last day of first day of February, the last day of February, the 29th, because it was a leap year. You have to like conceive from the very beginning, like have nothing ready, conceive an album and record it by the end of the month. Just to kind of see if you could, and that's what I did. And that was the last thing I recorded. Actually, one of the songs that I wrote for that was Boxless. Was the first tune I wrote for that project, that solo project. And I said, I gotta bring this over to Elephants, not just release it as Mailbox. And
What a challenge!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a real challenge, and it was like more just to see if I could do it. And I did it. But it was a fun learning project, learning experience.
And I also noticed that you own many keyboards for different purposes.
I only
because you're a badass kid, right?
At the moment, I own 3 keyboards.
Okay.
The 2 that I play with live is a Roland Juno G, which is the main keyboard where all the sounds come from.
Okay.
And I have a AX09 Roland, which is a keytar. Like, you know, I can
Right.
strap it, you know, and walk around with it if I want. And then I have a Casio PX150 piano, digital piano, with like the weighted keys, the full 88, so I can like, you know, pretend I'm playing the piano for a little bit. Which I might start bringing out to shows next year. I don't know yet. Just to kind of have, get that more like a natural.
Yes.
I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, but it has a much better piano sound.
Oh, Pierre like that.
I'm a big
and
piano fan, yeah.
Yeah, and I have. I mean, as you know, like some of the new songs, one of the new songs is very piano driven. So it's some I'm always toying with. But I've had many keyboards and lots of gear over the years, but I'm always selling one to buy another piece,
Okay.
and selling another piece so I can buy another piece. That's
So you're
always
never
the way.
satisfied.
We're just trying to get better or evolve, I
We'll
guess.
try different things. And it's like sometimes you need a new instrument. Sometimes you need a new instrument to get a new perspective.
Really,
on
Jeff
things.
Downs didn't think that way.
Well, Jeff Downs, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would just keep them
He
all.
didn't think that way. You keep them all.
Just keep them all.
Got
Put them all on
45
stage.
keyboards.
Put them all on
Rick
stage.
Wakeman didn't care either. He's like,
Yeah. But again, if you can't have 2 kick drums,
right.
I can only have, 2 synths.
Actually, I think.
Yeah.
No matter crap I have to lug around, you could have a couple more keyboards.
You'd like that. Yeah. You can work on it.
You could get a couple amps too.
Yeah.
With no speakers. Just so that looks.
I think that I said no.
Put a Marshall cabinet behind you. No speakers.
I'll bring my dryer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Washing machine.
So before I move on to another song,
Yeah.
are you the founding member of Elephants of Scotland?
Well, I'm the instigator.
I think that's not just in the Elephants of Scotland. I think these guys are going to agree. That's with everything, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's the instigator.
He's a goddamn instigator.
Yeah, right.
Started the band, wrote some great shit. God damn it.
I'll go with that title. Lead instigator.
Well, he took me aside at a restaurant and was like, I want to start a prog rock band. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Where's that going to go? We're busy with Honey and Magic. He's like, I didn't know at the time he was on his way out. Honey and Magic. What the hell's going on?
Beer.
And so I was like, I'm too busy to play in this damn band. I don't have time for this.
Right.
So he went and stole my guitar player from my other band, and then sort of cornered me in where I know where to go. I was like, okay, we need a drummer. I had to join him. So he's not only the instigator, he's the visionary, and he's the brains behind the whole concept.
Adam is always 10 steps ahead.
But I feel incredibly privileged that he put his faith in me to be the drummer for this project, which has turned out to be a band that's far beyond my ability when we started this band.
Yeah,
Like he had the
all.
faith that I could. That we had no idea where we were going with it, and I had no idea where we were going with it. And when I think about like Home Away From Home album compared to where we are now, we're just like 10 times
Galaxies away.
Yeah,
We're galaxies away with the musicians that we were when we started this thing.
Yeah.
That's a great, and that
Great
speaks
title,
to the
Yeah.
speaks to the name and the definition of progressive rock, which is not just that you play a bunch of odd time signatures and you play really long songs. It's that you progress. That you push yourself and you push the form of music ahead. You're always like challenging yourself, even if you fall
Ding dong
flat.
yell.
Even if it doesn't quite work, even if you like swear at the guy that wrote the song for 3 months until you nail it, and you're like, oh my god, this is an awesome
Hell
song.
yeah.
We've done.
We swear at him all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, no, actually,
That's
I'm
where
gonna take
the
this part and
progress.
put it
That's
over
why
here.
it's called progressive rock. That's what it's for ourselves and pushing the form.
That's true. That's a good way of looking at it.
But there's something that really hits me. Go ahead, Johnny. I'll go after. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Endless Part 1, boy, that generates so much animosity. No, not animosity. That's not the right word, but boy, that
Now it's your turn to spill your guts.
having someone like Jesus, Adam, what, you know?
I wrote it in like, over like the course of a week or so. And I was like, oh wow, this whole thing's in 5. This is gonna drive, everyone's gonna love this. And I showed up and I was like trying to explain it to everybody, and I like had notes written out. And literally the first 2 or 3 weeks, it was a mess. I mean, it was like, high schoolers who just got their instruments just fell all over themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like we don't even think about it. We just like let's warm up, let's get the amps turned on, let's check our levels with Endless Part 1, we just do it.
And at a point,
I couldn't even nail that thing. I wrote it.
He
It took
writes
me
crap.
a few weeks.
He writes crap. He shows up and he's like,
Hey.
diddly, diddly. We're like, come on, Adam, you wrote the damn song. And he's like, sorry, I haven't played it in a while.
it was from your brain and off your brain. A lot of stuff going on now.
It's easy to write stuff.
It's hard to play. That's right.
I've been listening to you guys talking and everything. How do you feel, Adam? Because I know these guys have a lot of respect for you.
It's absolutely. It's absolutely
I don't
mutual.
know what to say.
It's absolutely mutual.
But I noticed that you guys have a lot of respect to each other.
I feel like we're all very much on the same level, skill-wise, but also just brain, just our personality types. We're all just like, no one feels they're above or below anybody else.
Can I interrupt again? I want to say one thing that makes this band interesting is that there's no virtuosos in this band.
Well, it's like you were saying at the beginning of the conversation that you guys have been through all of this before. They were prima donnas, rock stars, guitarists, blah, blah,
no one's
blah.
great.
And you've been through this, and now it's time to just sit back, to create, and to enjoy. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
But this is an important point, is that no one in this band, it's not like no Yngwie Malmsteen in this band.
Right.
There's no Eddie Van Halen. We're all just like average musicians who have like,
and you all have your role.
Worked our ways.
You all have your place.
In fact, he's probably the best musician in the freaking band.
Oh, come on.
And he put his bass down for 12 years. I mean, he's the maestro.
It's you guys that motivate you,
Well, and that's part of it too. You've got to have people around you to motivate you too. Very important. Very
Peer
important.
pressure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't show up. You can't show up as the one guy.
No, because you're gone. It's over.
Yeah, because if we show up, we're not practiced. We hear it from him.
I'm the bass player. We're all anally. This has got to be done this way. They all,
The disciplinarian is Dan. Okay.
I am kind of a. We got to rehearse. And
okay. Someone's gonna do it.
That's how he got the nickname Tenacious.
Oh, okay. We get it.
Yes.
Good one. Good one. All right. So we're gonna move on to another song.
Yes, we are.
Okay. And then we're
Speaking
gonna.
of, yes,
I'm
speaking
gonna
of
come back with
Endless Part
Johnny,
1.
baby.
Yeah. Then we're gonna come back for a few more words and another song, and then that'll be pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the song we're gonna play now is.
Endless Part 1. We were just talking about Endless Part 1, and we should play the clip from us playing it at Rossfest.
so I can pay that.
Seeing
You
us
guys are
pull
good
it
with
off
that?
live. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Endless Part 1, Rossfest,
Live at Rossfest.
coming up, and we'll be back. So, are we back? We are back. We just listened to Endless Part 1, right? Endless Part 1. Great song. We're here with Elephants of Scotland. They had a great gig today. We're here in Montreal, Marillion weekend. And hoping you guys are enjoying the show as much as we're enjoying being with these guys. Great stuff. So this is our last segment, and then let's get on with it. Denny, let's go.
Somebody had to spell.
Now that we have on camera. That we have. And it's export. And it's Molson export on top of that.
How is it Molson export if we're still in Canada?
Yeah, how's that work?
Because it's
from Britain.
originally from Britain.
Yeah. That's what
But
they
it's
got
a
a boat.
Montreal-based brewery.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's why they got the boat.
Yeah, 18 something.
Yeah.
It's the oldest brewery in North
North
America.
America, yeah. Yeah, over 300.
Okay, but the show's about Elvis Scotland.
Oh, so we're talking about as in Adam like.
Brador.
Yeah, well, John fucked it all up.
Okay, John, don't do that again. All right.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're kidding.
Like
Okay.
Canada.
We're having fun.
Okay, John.
Yeah.
So John White, which is the guitar and vocalist of the band. First of all, why the name Lefty? That I'm curious about.
So,
Why
Oh,
Lefty?
well, this goes back. It's an old fraternity nickname that I really can't. I could get
Okay.
into it, but let's just say it was a nickname that I imported back from my fraternity days. So without getting too much into it, it involved a color guard uniform, a chicken dip into devil worship, and a fraternity. We'll leave it at that.
What?
Really?
Chicken dip?
Chicken devil.
Chick into devil worship.
a woman who likes
Oh.
Satan.
Devil. Say done.
Now, is that a nickname you could have left in the fraternity and just walked away from, or you just wanted to,
No,
carry
it
it?
actually followed me
It
around.
followed you around.
It followed me around.
Nicknames do that.
Half the eastern seaboard knows me as
Well,
well.
you should have killed that chicken.
Really?
The chicken? Well, that would have been part of the Satan worship.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah, Satan. Strange.
I never knew you were a devil worshiper.
I wasn't.
No wonder,
Now we
no
know.
wonder I'm stuck with you.
Wait a minute, are you a devil worshiper?
No.
Chicken was.
No, the chick was.
The chick was.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, this part of the interview is
I
going
gotta go
real
get
well.
You gotta stay away from devil worshipping chicken.
I need
It
community.
is from Love.
That's too funny.
Oh, it's going to get better.
Are you trying to tell me you're doing something?
Yeah, you just exposed someone here.
Really?
Wow.
I'm blushing. I'm blushing.
We got some Sabbath for you there.
Chicken bloody
Darker
chicken.
than you.
Oh, God.
No wonder you like to hang out in New Orleans.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
you go, man.
Watch what happens next time we go.
You killed my chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that answered the
Dennis
question.
has a question.
Yes, I do. Okay, Johnny boy, you've been playing since 1977. You're the founding member of Lefty and the Left Outs.
Only
So Lefty
Only
left out the other band members?
Lefty and the Left Outs was basically when I came out of Jersey. I was just infatuated with Rush, and I started kind of my own home recording on the 4-track. And what I was doing Rush covers, and I would come up with drum parts. Basically because I watched these guys on the Jersey Shore play with a drum machine, and so there's got to be something better you can do with a drum machine. And I went, ding, Neil Peart. So I just started doing these 4-track things, putting together the electronic drums, synthesizers, bass, guitar, and as I started doing this, I said, I could go out and do this live and really freak people out. And so I called the band Lefty and the Left Outs.
Okay.
And that's how it started. And that's actually how Ornan met me.
Yeah. I would like to interrupt. Can I interrupt
Go for
again?
it. Yeah, go for
Again.
We want your 2 cents in there.
I met.
Well, you know what's the worst part? That was my next question.
Well, I was dating this woman who I met. Well, she was telling me about this friend of hers who had this Rush cover band all by himself. And I was like, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah, no way.
I was
Chicken
just like,
Satan
oh.
worshiper.
I poo-pooed it for like a year.
That's funny.
And finally I met him, And I saw him do a show. I was like, I love you. I went over to his house. He had an electronic drum set. We just played Rush all night. And pretty much, he's been my best friend ever since.
You're still in love. All right. Good.
I've got him in like 3 bands. Every time we don't get guitar, I'm like, Lefty, want to join my band? He's like, okay.
Okay, that's because that's why I was going to ask. So you played in the same band as Orman, Hot Neon Magic 80s cover.
We still play that band?
Right. Okay.
That's why he says every time he sees me, he goes, you again.
What band is this?
I say, when I on the drums, I say, okay, what band is this?
Yeah.
So now I have the final note, Lefty. Why didn't the Batman thing work out? You have to speak about this. What's this thing about Batman?
People started shooting at me.
Okay.
So.
Leave it. The less you know, the better.
So we got the chicken
Is
Satan
that a horror movie or a Batman or?
No. I mean Batman. Bruce Wayne got pissed. Bullets flew and gave it up.
Okay.
All went downhill from there.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll finish this on this note.
No, we're going to talk about Greg.
Okay, I thought you wanted to hear a song in there.
Or did you want to hear a song? Come back here and talk about Greg, and then they can say a few words about being here.
Because I know every band member wants to talk about Greg.
Okay, so we'll play a quick song.
Yep.
And then talk about Greg after.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind. You guys mind?
Sounds good.
Right?
Chicken doesn't mind either.
All right. So what song you want us to hear now?
Yeah, right.
How about A Different Machine from our second album, Execute and Breathe.
All right. Anything special about that song?
No, just your basic
interface.
Explosive rock song.
Wow.
It was actually speaking of lyricists,
Yeah.
A Different Machine is pretty cool because it's the one song of ours that has 3 lyric credits on it. Dan, Greg, and myself. Dan came up with the idea and the title for A Different Machine, and kind of like the concept of what it would be about.
Right.
And then we told Greg about it. We'll talk about Greg in a minute. And Greg came up with like a few of the choruses, and he threw those at me. I was like, oh, I get it. And then I just like filled in the rest of it with the verses, and and I was like, so really, he came up with the first 3 words, which are A Different Machine, and then so everyone gets credit, and then Greg came up with like a few of the, like I said, a few other lines, and I filled in the rest of it based on their ideas.
This is based on the people, we all got these.
Yeah,
right?
it's all about the phone.
We're all walking freaking controlled by these things all the time.
We are. Well, look at mine. We all are.
We are humans are different machines.
We are. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. We're going to listen to A Different Machine. And then once that's done, we're coming back with a few last words. So enjoy A Different Machine.
machine. Standing in the queue with the rank and the file. Upgrade my arms so I can reach the sky. Take me apart, open up the case. Synchronize my heart so it keeps up the pace. I always dream but never fly. Fall into line, just hoping to be seen. Once I was a man, but now I'm just a different machine. Once I was a man, once I was a child. Once I knew what I was made of. Once I gave it all away for something better. Now I know what I'm a slave of. Turn myself off and merge into the scene. Once I was a man, but now I'm just a different machine. I'm just a different machine. I'm just a different machine. Once I was a man, once I was a child. Once I believed all I had seen. Once I gave it all away for something better. Now I'm just one more machine.
A couple below.
So 32 and 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually 9 over. You got to double and add 32.
Once you get to a certain point below,
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I know,
It's the
you're
same
right.
thing
Yes.
anyway.
Excellent.
Yeah, multiply by 9 divided by 5 minus 32.
That's it.
I'm not a promoter that.
It's freaking crazy.
All right. Denny, Dan, guys. Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, so what we're gonna do? What was the last song we just listened to? Summer?
Different machine. No,
different machine, yeah.
Different machine, you're right.
Wait, you guys
Okay.
been drinking or something?
Kind of.
Me no.
Kind of.
Get this.
So,
Mess.
so different machine. We just, and now we're going to let the guys talk about Greg.
Right on.
Had
Okay.
a question?
So, do you have a question about Greg, or you just want them to talk about
Well,
Greg?
the only thing I had about Greg is that, if I read correctly, Greg has an EP that's coming out in 2015.
That's
Right?
the hope, yeah.
It is, eh?
Yeah, he's our lyricist, our principal lyricist. I
Right.
mean, we all, pitch in here and there, but he writes most of the lyrics. He's a guy I've been really close friends with for about 25 years. A lot of the mailbox stuff that I've talked about before,
Okay.
a lot of that, he wrote lyrics for. And he came up last summer he lives in Florida. He came up to Vermont last summer and we recorded some tracks of his because he writes music and plays guitar as well. So I'm hoping to do the final production on that this coming summer, and hopefully it'll be ready to share in the fall of 2015. And the plan at this moment is taking his guitar tracks and some of his vocals and having all four of us kind of pitch in, drums, guitar, bass, and keys, and kind of like be his backing band for some of the tracks.
Cool.
So
Very
it's
nice.
going to be kind of like a
Nice touch.
yeah, nice touch, a little half-side Elephants project.
I thought he would have been with you guys today, but I wasn't
He
sure.
would have been had he been able to fly up. He wanted to be
okay.
here.
Yeah, he wanted to be here. He was actually just writing us. He wanted someone to like FaceTime him
Yeah.
during the show so he
During
could
the
watch
song.
us play. He came up to Rosfest. He was up. He flew up
Yeah.
to Gettysburg, PA last year, and that was really cool to have the five of us. That's when these guys never met him.
Yeah, we should say that was
Oh,
the first
never met
time
him.
we ever met him.
Yeah.
He came across it. We were in the merch level, the merch room,
Yeah.
where the merch was, and you saw me. I saw him, and he goes, "Dan, Greg, you want to give this big bear hug?" And he actually threw it back out. He's a big dude, man. And he's just full of love. That guy. Great guy.
That's Greg in a nutshell.
Right.
Like a big teddy bear.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And just he's amazing in the way he.
Yeah,
he
Greg's
does-
a good being.
Yeah.
So on a final note, I guess, any last words, you guys? I mean, the floor is yours for the last few minutes. If you want to talk about
we've had a
this
website,
weekend, and, whatever.
Maybe talk about.
Just say what you got to
First of all,
say.
thank
We're
you-
listening.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
for interviewing us. You guys have helped us out and promoted us up here, and we really appreciate it. Today was fan-fucking-tastic at Brutopia, man. And the
Brutopia.
Marillion crowd, and there's some EOS fans there that came to see us. It was so
And
just
some
amazing.
non-US fans who just came to check us out.
Yeah, and now we
And
got
we
new
turned them.
fans. Yeah.
So
It's great.
Well, you guys
Yeah.
deserve it, man.
Yeah, we're hoping to come back to Quebec as many times as possible.
Absolutely.
We want to play up here
Yeah.
more. It's an
Yeah.
hour.
And you're so
Great place.
close, so that
Yeah.
it's, it's
well, the thing is, we were
many
always,
different opportunities.
always
here,
focused
too,
on
yeah.
the South.
Yes.
Like, how can we get to Albany? How can we get to Boston? How can we get to New York? It's a waste of time. Let's
Yeah.
go north.
It really
Yeah.
is.
You guys are only
Absolutely.
like an hour ahead of us. And you got 8 million people here with a European attitude.
Yeah.
And they
And
appreciate
an
it.
open mind.
Well, you guys
Yeah.
come down to Montreal, man. You're welcome anytime.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Give us a ring, man.
For
We
sure.
will.
So is that a wrap, guys?
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
So big cheers.
Thank you.
Congratulations, you guys. Good job. Well done.
Hey,
And thank you very much for the time.
You got
And,
it.
all the best. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
From Prog Live to Elephants of Scotland.
you better
Cheers.
believe
Good
it.
Thank you.
job.
All right.
Much better.
We went out. And that's a wrap.
Amber waves goodbye to the tower that maintain her. Her tears are all run dry as the power that enslaved her is falling like a cold November moon, falling like a cold November moon. Amber walks on by, and the tears wish she could advise them how to soar, soar like a balloon. Amber says I'll try, hurls herself skyward. Amber waves goodbye, and off she goes. goodbye to the body that enslaved her. Tears are all run dry as the world that maintained her is nothing but a cruel and senseless dream. Nothing but a cruel and senseless dream.
Why do Labrador Retrievers eat shit? I don't understand. Anyway, yeah, thanks, dude. We're all really pumped for Terra, and thanks for putting the interview out there. And